intro.
Okay.
Oh, so bad. Oh, gosh.
We need to go back to the normal intro.
I think this is the normal intro.
That's what he... Oh, you mean like... He means not doing it during the podcast. He means doing the pre-roll.
No.
The Trinity.
Right now,
the Trinity, which now it's just the duality.
I think the issue
the
is...
duality of Justin. Let's
need
talk about this. How do you feel about the duality?
I need to stop doing these intros right after I woke up. Or
Welcome
I need
to philosophy.
actually try and wake up my voice. Or I should just try and not do it so high. Just be
How
like,
long does it take
hello,
you to
ladies
wake
and
up?
gentlemen. Welcome to the Film Feast! I still couldn't do it.
How long does it take for you to wake up?
Like an hour or two.
Holy shiz.
2 hours?
Dude, it
by
takes me
that
like
I
10
mean,
minutes.
By that I mean,
And then I'm like wide awake, I can't go back to bed.
But by fully wake up, what I mean is like I like to have the morning to myself. No matter when I wake up, I like to have 1 to 2 hours of just like.
He doesn't like to see me in the morning.
Fun fact.
Even though I'm also in my room.
Fun fact. If you copy somebody's posture, that means you're well, it doesn't matter now because you're not doing it.
Because I don't want to be like you.
We love you, Tazi, but not
Tazi,
that
I
much.
love you, but you're a detriment to society.
This is accurate.
All right, guys. So today, Tazi is changing his opinions on cinema. Shock face.
No. I have gained an understanding.
Ooh, gained an understanding.
I don't think I've changed my opinions on cinema. I think it's still the same, but it's evolved. So it's like
All
different.
right. So state your previous position, the one that has since evolved.
Well, I agree with Martin Scorsese that like cinema is more character-driven, story-oriented, rather than big like explosions and just nonsense going on the whole time.
And blockbusters are currently hurting it because they're taking away money from those
Art house
artists.
films, basically. Yeah, so it's like basically like art house films, and you have blockbuster franchises, if you will, because they're always sequels to those movies, it seems, and they're just cash grabs, in my opinion.
And how has your opinion now evolved?
I think that if it is entertaining to somebody, like I still get pissed off because it doesn't, the things that I want to make lose a lot of money. Most of the content that I want to make is art house films, but the I think where I've changed is the like strict nature, I guess, of what is cinema. That question in and of itself, I think that's an irrelevant question just because art in itself is subjective, and so you can't say this one piece of content is cinema and this one isn't, because this one could be moving to somebody else rather than.
So then your perception of... Hey, you're copying me now. So what were you saying that
I
means?
always fold my hand. You're copying.
I do as well.
But he did it first.
I had it folded
Actually,
first.
I had it first.
No, you undid it.
You stopped it.
You undid it, so then I put it back up so now I can point it out to you.
Is there a chocolate
But-
anywhere?
A chocolate?
A chonkla.
Oh, you want to throw it... You mean a flip-flop?
Yeah.
Basically. So your opinion of cinema
I
is
watched
the
Coco
same.
recently.
Is that some people can find enjoyment in any type of film.
If you guys,
Yeah.
if we go back to the...
Isn't that what you said before?
Yes, but I was more hard struck on what is cinema.
Yeah, what's it called? What am I
Because
trying to
cinema itself is subjective.
say? What's it called? The Dumb Movies episode. He was being very much like, if I identify with the characters personally, the movie is cinema, and if I don't identify the characters, it is not cinema. And now he is evolving to say, I have empathy.
I've also gained an interest in
I have gained empathy somehow. I have met people and they have really given me a sense of empathy.
Level up! Scott has learned the power of empathy.
Yes.
name's not
Basically it's a Scott Pilgrim reference. Scott Pilgrim versus the world.
yeah.
That is cinema.
Although I think it's in the movie it's love. He does it twice, I think.
He gains the power.
Or 3 times?
It's either sympathy or
Oh,
empathy.
he does the empathy when
Yeah.
he like breaks up.
It's the
Or when
first
he talks
time.
to
Yeah,
Knives.
he learns empathy first when he breaks up with Knives and apologizes to all the band members, and then he learns the power of self-respect and love. think those are the 3 things that he levels up on in the last scene, if I remember correctly.
So I have gained an interest to tell stories.
So you don't agree with
different
Martin
nature.
Scorsese then?
No.
Because I thought that's what you said earlier. And I was like, okay, Tazi, we're going to have some beef here.
Well, I do to an extent.
There's the beef.
Because to an extent, his cinema, what he enjoys, because cinema is subjective, so it's to each individual.
Okay, yeah, but he is saying that...
But I understand he's saying his way is the only way that cinema is cinema. I don't agree with that. I agree his way of cinema is his way of cinema.
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I've tried to put
so you
that
don't
in
agree with
children's
So you
films,
don't
to
agree
an
with
extent.
him.
To an extent.
Because he believes his
Like I
stuff
said.
is the... Or stuff like his is the only cinema. He
I don't
doesn't
agree with
believe that it's subjective.
Do you want me to go through it again?
He doesn't believe,
I believe
that
that
it's
his
subjective.
cinema is his own cinema.
So
And
you
he
believe
thinks
with
that.
his... You believe...
But I don't believe that is the only cinema that is cinema.
Okay.
I think the word cinema is subjective to the
And
individual.
therefore, by that logic, you don't agree with him because he doesn't believe
But
that.
I agree with him in the same context because it is his cinema. And he's claiming that this is the way his cinema is.
As Tazi so aptly put it 2 episodes ago, this is Martin's truth.
This is my truth, and
But
your truth is...
Let me tell you
BS, man.
how I've gotten evolved in a way.
You've gotten evolved?
I've evolved I expounded
The bloody fish grew legs and got evolved, man.
gosh, and then it evolved again, and it's just a snake now. My gosh. Pokemon reference. It's okay, just...
Yeah, imagine if a fish grew legs and was like, yo, dude, I got legs now. And then the legs just fell off and was like, well, I guess I just got lungs now.
Then it'd be a lizard with a long body.
No, that's a...
No,
Right?
imagine-
Tazi, that's
So
a
we're talking
snake.
about the evolution. It's
No,
a snake.
no. Hear me out. Snakes are like this, right? Fish are like this.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what if... I don't know how they evolve, like,
And
what
so the
they
feet
go
would be
to.
on the bottom where my hands
For
are.
audio
where my arms
listeners,
Tazi is making a diamond.
a diamond
He
and a
says snakes
circle.
are tubes.
Yeah.
Lizards are diamonds. Fish are
Fish are
diamonds.
yeah.
And also, lizards are diamonds?
So what Tazi's
Therefore,
saying is...
fish are lizards?
Fish grew legs. It would be where my wrists are at. And so it'd be a really long,
Yeah, but if they
like a
fell
tall,
off,
a tall,
how is that-
a tall lizard.
Wait, you mean like
the body
human legs?
You know,
Yes.
Like a fish walking around just with 2 human legs?
you know what, guys? This question is interesting, but I think we're not asking the hard one. If chickens had lips, could they whistle?
According to Chicken Run, the answer is yes.
Well,
Which is also a great movie. Which also, I believe, is cinema. Because that movie is god tier.
The chickens are revolting!
Finally, something we agree on.
but okay. Let me go back to my original point because you guys have interrupted me, and yet you get.
I was asking questions, and then we went off on a rabbit hole.
You
Rabbit
started talking
hole.
about fish, man.
I started talking about fish because y'all started talking about fish. Listen to the tape.
Okay. Alright, go ahead.
I've expounded my goals for the stories that I tell. I have many things in my story arsenal, many different genres, and I've never thought I could make all of them, and I still don't think I can make all of them. There's like 101 different feature films that are in Airtable right now, and I have probably 70 other ones that I need to input. Just ideas of feature films alone. That's not including TV shows or short films.
How do you have
I
this
have
many
too many
ideas?
because I'm a genius. Okay.
How many of them are good, though?
Tazi, would you, if you went through...
Here's
some
the
of that-
problem with
Yeah,
good...
that's what I was about to say.
No,
Yeah,
listen.
I think good.
Let me answer that because I've thought about this. The problem with good content and bad content never gets worked on. It just stays the same as bad content. Yeah. The only way it turns good is if it's worked on. If there's like effort put into it and more... like you could take a mundane story like John Wick's story, for example, and make it good by adding things to it.
You're saying it's not good?
No, I'm saying it is good, but at its core level, if they left it at guy gets mad and starts a war with mafia because they killed his dog and stole his car. That's kind of boring.
It's a Nicolas Cage movie at that point.
Exactly. But if you expound upon that idea, that main concept, then it can possibly turn into something good. Not that that's all the cases, but the more effort you put into an idea or a concept, the better. The only way it's going to get better is if you do that.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better at that point.
So you have...
And so I do believe all of them are good because eventually they will be. A lot of them are shit.
Will you have a lot of time to work on them? To work on all 170 features?
No, he's saying he doesn't. That's his point.
Don't be like the please don't be like the production company we're working for currently.
And just pumping out content.
They make Gerald movies, and that is all they do. That is it. It is
garbage.
Their budget is $250,000.
Dude, I could do a lot with $250,000.
Oh yeah,
but they don't care enough.
But here,
I couldn't make Blood
No,
Brothers
okay. Here's the thing: $250,000 is not as much as you think.
It's not
with the crew you have.
The problem with
guy,
the entertainment industry and budgets, I'll tell you this right now. Sorry, 1 second. Because this is important. I want you to expand upon that, but this is important. Is we spend our money inefficiently. And I learned this on this last show that I was on.
How so?
There was I'm trying to, without giving out too much detail, we just will never talk about the actual name, which is fine. There was a helicopter landing scene.
You're working on Goodfellas 5? What?
Dude, are they making that for real?
Have they made Goodfellas 2 or 3?
No, dude, you can't make a sequel to Goodfellas.
You definitely could.
I know.
You definitely could.
I said Goodfellas 5. There hasn't been I don't think there's been a 2, 3, or 4.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So you were saying, and then he was saying.
There's 3 picture cars that there were 2 that they were using, and they're they're added up to around $500K or whatever in the cost of these cars. And the guy that does the picture cars, he's a super cool dude. The negotiation basically was the client. I'm trying not to give away too much information. The clients weren't aware that they were going to fly a helicopter over that. When you fly a helicopter over something, air goes all over the place, dirt scratches up the paint. The paint on these cars is very expensive, so it's dangerous to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's just a helicopter involved with these cars now, and he went up to the AD and said, "This wasn't a part of the plan. I already asked you guys about this, and you guys changed it on the spot. You can't do this. I have clients, this and that." And basically, the AD was like, "Go talk to the producer. He's the one that made the call or whatever." Goes talk to the producer. The producer, instead of saying, "Okay, let's figure this out" or whatever, he's like, "Well, we'll just buy him. If it comes down to it, we'll just buy him." That's $500,000 worth of vehicles. One, that's not the point. The point is, this guy's going to lose these 2 clients, and these clients talk to each other. They all talk to each other, so his reputation's going to be shot. Because you just made a decision based on something that's not even necessary. It's not necessary for those cars to be in the shot. They don't see him. And so, a lot of these productions are just spending their money ill, if that makes sense. They're not spending their money right. So a lot of this money that's being spent, these bigger budgets, right, it's because they're throwing money at stuff that doesn't need to be thrown money at. In a lot of cases. So these productions are run inefficiently because of that. Go ahead. You're saying $250,000
$250,000 isn't a lot. The art department guy, we had enough stuff for 1, maybe 2 sets, and then the rest of them, he's like, "Yeah, I don't have any more budget. I'm basically bringing 2 or 3 things to the sets, to locations that we go to, and then we're just using the stuff there because I don't have any more. They're not giving me any more money, so I can't do anything about it." Mm-hmm. Same with props. The thing is, I think you could do it for that much with a smaller thing, say if we did Coming Home, because that's one location. Or if you have another short thing that has one, maybe
Dude,
two
we'd
locations.
have so much money.
Because on this one,
with $250K.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot better, but this one they have so far we've shot at 4 or 5 different locations, and there's more to come in the next week of shooting. Yeah. So you're probably spending a ton of money on those locations themselves.
It's a restaurant movie, so every location we go to requires
permits,
background. Not just permits, but
background as well. That's another thing. There's a ton of background. We're our coming home will have to have a lot of people.
But the difference in that is
I'm assuming it's probably 100, 120 a day, something like that, because that's what I got paid on Tyler Perry.
Everyone on that show currently is 90 over 8, and most of them are staying there longer than 8 hours.
Do they get overtime?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's double time, or it's time and a half.
It's time and a half after 8. But so that means technically I'm getting
10,
less.
It's double, isn't it?
12.
Oh, and this last show was on those.
You're making less than the background?
Well, no, I'm saying technically I don't make $15 an hour because that is my rate is 180 over 12. So that is $15 an hour. But that's not actually $15 an hour because I make the base rate till 8 kind of. Whatever the base rate till 8 is, and then time and a half after that. So it's probably more like $13.50, maybe $12, something like that an hour. This thing sucks.
Yeah.
The pay rate on.
Also, the helicopter.
But it is something. But yeah, but you can spend your money more efficiently. But for $250,000, you can't do a location heavy. You need to do if you want to make it look good. It needs to be secluded, probably what's it called? What Room with Brie Larson, the one where she gets kidnapped and has a kid, or I don't know, some other ones, or I'm sure
M. Night Shyamalan's new movie.
Whatever.
M. Night Shyamalan's new movie,
just on the island,
Old, is literally just one beach. Which whole movie on one beach?
That's even multiple locations.
That's even better because
you also have to have permits for those locations.
Yeah. Yes, permits for those locations, but.
And permits for the road to park your trucks.
Yeah, exactly. But the beach probably is even better because you probably need to get roads and stuff like that. But
say
you probably need a lot less art department stuff because it's a beach. It's just nature.
This is why CGI is getting more and more used.
It's why virtual productions using Blender are getting more and more. Blender
is a way to create Unreal backgrounds.
Well, that too.
That's the
Blender is the cheap. Blender is you use Unreal. You use Unreal and Blender in combination to create it. Both of those are the cheaper options. The big
Unreal
virtual production
isn't free. Right?
Isn't free. Blender is. So if you're doing photo scans in Blender, like that short I showed you, which I can't think of the name of all of a sudden, it's really good. Man created an entire CG world. The
one with the girl on the elevator?
Yeah. Go to Corridor Crew, look at their VFX artists react from, this would have been sometime in June of 2021 for those listening. They did they talked about this short, and it was one guy over the course of 3 years, and it's an entire just giant CGI universe, and it doesn't look bad. It looks amazing, and he just did it with his girlfriend in a green screen.
Because lighting.
Yeah.
Because lighting matters.
Yeah. But the point is that it is getting cheaper and cheaper to do virtual productions, and that is starting to become the go-to because you can shoot in a convenient location on a stage, which helps so much with permits, parking, crew accessibility to the set. You can expand your universe everywhere. Now, obviously, we're talking about the low budget end of this. The high budget end is The Mandalorian is high budget virtual production. If that becomes more normal, if those spaces become rentable. Yeah, if they build that in Atlanta, and you can rent that for a week for $250, you could shoot a full feature with dozens of locations.
It's the pre-production of the building the set out though in Unreal Engine or Blender that is the time-consuming thing. And if you don't have somebody on staff that can do that, then it's going to cost more.
Yeah. Well, but all of this is going back to the whole budget thing. If you're putting $250,000 into a project no one cares about. It's just frustrating
Mm-hmm.
So versus like if you put $250,000 into Coming Home, I think that the people that we would bring on board to work on
we don't even need 250 grand.
We don't
For what?
for
Coming
Coming
Home.
Home.
Coming home.
If we
Well,
can find a
250 would
good,
make it
if we
look
could find
way
a good,
better,
if we
I
could
think.
find a
'Cause we
good
could get really good-
interior
But
location,
okay,
it would-
Because
let
I
me
think-
this. I think this is an important point. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No,
but
you're
I think
fine.
This is an important point. Important topic. When you say 250K is going to make this much better, if I put in 100K, right?
I think
How
we
much
still
better is it going to be? What's the cost? What's the ratio there that you're thinking of? In your
Well, I
mind?
would have to figure out how much we're paying people and stuff like that. But I think you could probably get.
But if you're paying people SAG rates, then you're still only. It's a day shoot. You're still only
You would only do
Coming
it in
Home,
a day.
Coming Home is way more than a day shoot.
a weekend shoot, whatever. You wouldn't need a full week to shoot Coming Home.
No, you wouldn't need a full week, but you probably need like 3 days.
Okay, 3 days then. You're paying them SAG rates. And say you have like a splinter crew unit. You don't need that many people. If you took a main unit production, right, and you have a splinter unit.
Here. I think that right there is the issue. Is if you have $250,000, the money is going towards efficiency on set because you have you have like a half dozen extras. More would make it look better. You need makeup artists for all those people because you need those extra people, all those stunt people, because they're all playing zombies. All right, so
It's way more
that's where the money
obtainable
comes
to get
from.
100K to make Coming Home than it is to get 250K.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
What I'm saying is what is the ratio there? What is the ratio there that makes it so much better, like you say, to get an extra $150,000 than it is just to have the 100,000?
I mean, I see what you're saying. That would require a full breakdown to see how much would
See
the
what
extra
we'd have
makeup
to
artist.
sacrifice.
Just
for
on the
it,
top of your head, when you say that claim, there has to be something in your mind that makes
Makeup
you think
artist.
it's going to be.
more
better
set.
set dressing.
Stunts.
And you're thinking you cannot do that with $100,000.
No, I said I could do it.
We
but I
could do
get
it with
better
100K.
stuff.
We're just
more
saying,
money.
yeah, we're just saying that you could do more with 250 than you could with 100.
Of course,
that you could get.
You
would-
can,
That's all-
you can
that's
waste
all we were-
money on
that's
other
you
things
put-
like that. But
No,
it's, at that
whoa,
point,
I
it's
don't
wasting.
I don't think
wasting.
you're wasting money.
I think at that point, when you talk about Coming Home, if you're not putting just $100,000 in it, you're wasting the extra 150K. If you're going to just throw 150K into it.
I think
$100,000 can go a long way.
I think you're devaluing the people that would work on the set as well as the time
If
that
you're paying
more
them
people
SAG
would
rates,
come
how is that
and
devaluing
the
them?
set
No,
dressing. No,
Not
that's
the act.
not. But also
SAG
the
rates is
set
just for the
dressing.
actors.
Yeah, if everyone's
If I
SAG
do-
or IATSE rates,
everyone-
whatever.
everyone-
Union rates.
union rates.
Okay, so you want it to be a union thing?
No,
Well,
I'm
you could
saying
also-
if
No,
you're paying, that's
it
the
wouldn't,
minimum.
It would be
You're paying
non-union, but he would want to pay everyone
union rates.
Okay, so that bumps the price up a lot. Because
I understand
union
that,
rates
but you're talking
base is
about,
probably about like
what's your crew
$23
size?
an hour.
What's your crew size?
I don't know. I would like to have a good amount of people in the grip electric and the DP department, in the camera department, because
Yeah.
I feel like those people can make
Those go to
they
the
can make
production
it-
quality, yes.
they
of
make
course.
it the production quality way better. I
Of
want
course.
to get them enough stuff that they can do what they need to do
Yeah,
instead
grip
of being
rentals,
like.
electric rentals, all that kind of
Exactly,
stuff.
yes.
I get that. But I'm saying,
But I don't know how much those things cost, so I don't know how much.
yeah,
how
I
far
do.
100,000
You could
goes.
do it with $100,000.
You think-
But I'm saying you
Well-
could probably go even further with 250,000.
you could waste the money, yeah, with $100,000.
But I don't think
extra
that's wasting money.
$150,000.
I think that's getting more better equipment for their
The
departments. Getting
ratio
better
is what
set
I'm
dressing.
trying to express is the ratio between the $100,000 and an extra 150K isn't that much to where it'd be worth
But it's
putting an
double
extra
the
100K.
money. It's more than double the money.
I know that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Is you're saying that
I'm
the
saying
extra money
the
wouldn't.
extra
The
money
extra
is not going
money.
to bring that much of a higher production quality.
I have a hard time comprehending that because just thinking about how much you'd be paying people, the immediate thought is the way we've written this, there are something like 20 plus stunt people you would have to hire and then put them in full prosthetic makeup. That alone
is not
Like,
going to cost $100,000 or $150K.
That alone is going to take up.
express.
That alone is going to take up like half your budget or more to pay all of them, to buy everything, to hire all the makeup people, to put that makeup on them. Because you need one makeup person per person.
I don't think you guys know how much
because of how long that takes.
You probably wouldn't need to do full prosthetics for everybody. You could do like what Walking Dead does, where you have like
and it wouldn't be
the hero
prosthetics you'd
people
be doing, it'd be makeup
in full prosthetics, and then the people who aren't as in hero, maybe a little bit of prosthetics, but maybe makeup at that point.
Yeah.
But you'd also need makeup people for that because it'd be really intense makeup.
Being on this show, like they're stretching the budget thin, and it's
all
mostly.
I'm trying to express here. Okay, so I have experience with looking at budgets and seeing where the money goes on set.
Yeah.
And other actual things. And so seeing that and seeing where the money is wasted, literally wasted, and just basically
Like,
thrown away.
Yeah, can you answer that then? Because I think that's where I'm confused. Where's the money getting wasted then?
It's wasted in the where the money is being spent for production value isn't adding that much more production value for the dollar amount. Does that make sense?
What's the stuff that's getting added for production? What's the production value that they're adding? What do you mean?
The specific things. So like, okay, so even just adding another camera, like you'd have to add a whole other camera department, right? For something like Coming Home, we'd only need one camera crew.
Yeah.
You don't need an extra camera crew.
True. Yes.
Adding a splinter unit on a day for no reason, when you can get that stuff on the next day, right? You just have a little bit longer of a day, right? You'd probably, and then like it's going back. A lot of it has to do with like going back and doing retakes. Not having a rehearsal day adds more takes on the day, which spends more money on the day rather than
also
just
having production meetings.
Just having a rehearsal day.
Please, for the love of all that is good and holy, have production meetings with
on the,
all
yeah,
your
they
departments.
they
on
put
the thing
more
we're
money.
on, they didn't have production meetings, so they didn't talk about anything. So then they were very confused because the script is written very confusingly, so that they didn't know that from one scene to another, there's like a scene and then a montage and then a scene. They didn't know if that was the same day or the next day. So we spent about like 3 hours on the line with people from California, like the producers in California, trying
They're not even here.
Well, one of them is here. I
producers
think 1 or 2 of them are in California.
Yeah.
Something like that. Gerald.
California, and the production company producer is here in LA, or here in Atlanta.
They stopped 3 times for like an hour and a half, 2 hours each time that day to talk about continuity things.
Hi guys, if you want to have confidence like me to dress in whatever you want, you should subscribe to us on patreon.com/filmfeast. If you want to know what the heck is going on with the feast, you should follow us at twitter.com @thefilmfeast, on TikTok @thefilmfeast, and on Instagram @thefilmfeast. Back to the episode, guys.
Okay, so we're talking about budget still. And
Yeah, what were we
Tazi
talking about?
Tazi is trying to educate us on the use of
Money.
budget and where budget is wasted.
It's wasted a lot in putting money into production instead of pre-production.
Yeah.
That's where a
That
lot
is
of
actually,
it is wasted.
that's smart. That's smart.
Because there's a lot of stuff you can fix in pre-production and not have to worry about on the day.
As Nick Fury said in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, we can prevent a lot of disasters before they happen
Exactly.
by killing the people who we think are going to be a problem.
Exactly.
So
But
if you see
though.
that grip walking around with a bag of cocaine, you shoot him.
Take
So
him out.
before they can even do the drugs.
No, you do the drugs with him.
But that's not preventing the problem. That's just making it worse.
No, that's enjoying the problem.
What? So you're saying
Now, I
we
was
should-
on set one day and the SWAT team rolled up on Crafty. No, not Crafty. on,
That was not the department I thought you were going to say.
no, it was on catering.
Oh, catering?
It was on catering. He had cocaine in his bag.
Oh,
He
well,
was
I gotta
like
lean
dealing
forward.
drugs.
Yeah, Steve wins. He rolled up on Crafty. What you got in there, bro? You got the donuts?
Yeah, that's
No?
rough.
Let's go. You're coming
These
with me.
powdered donuts, they're not powdered
No powder.
the way you
enough.
think.
And
they are,
also, this one set I was on, we did a neighborhood shoot when we could have just built it in a studio, right? And it
bro.
had a
The
lot-
neighborhood?
Build a facade.
No. It was all interior shots besides one out in the back porch shot. That could have been done. We rented out driveways, permits on the street, you know.
Yeah, you could have.
We
done
rented
that
out
on
a
a
house.
stage.
Like
but do you have a stage?
I'm assuming they had a stage.
2 different
for this.
houses? Huh?
Did they have a stage for this production?
They could have, is what I'm saying.
But how much more does that cost
Yeah, that's
than
different.
getting the location if
No,
you don't have a stage?
if
I'm
you're-
legitimately asking. Do you know?
I don't know the specific dollar amount, but I know it's cheaper to rent out a stage.
And to build the set.
Why do you think TV shows rent out stages? Like
Because they're there
Ozark's been
for-
on a
because
TV.
they're
But they
there for
use
so long.
I know.
That's why.
They're there for
Same
longer. They
thing.
can use those sets
Not
more than
necessarily.
once.
Well, also if like TV, it's not necessarily the same thing. When you buy in bulk, so if I buy 365 days of use of this thing, it's going to be cheaper than if I just buy it for 10 days.
Yeah, I don't know how long their schedule was. It wasn't that long, so that might have played a factor into it.
Yeah, it's cheaper to just rent a house at that point.
And then you also have to pay for the whole construction department and paint department to construct
versus
and paint.
Marvel, which has their 10-year long deal.
How
with
I
Trilla,
wanna
they
do
can-
And then
things-
they
set deck
tease
has
with
to
them.
get more stuff because the house already had stuff in it, whereas set deck has to completely furnish that place.
How I plan to save costs is build an actual studio space that my productions can just use.
and then you tear it down at the end.
No.
It's like a pop up.
If I have a studio, I'm renting out the space at certain times when I'm not filming.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that way I could use it.
He wants to invest in. You want to invest in infrastructure.
Yeah, the company is ran different. The network production company is ran differently than how they're traditionally ran.
Yeah. Well, it's currently because all of the infrastructure is in LA, but it's cheaper to shoot here.
There's a lot of infrastructure.
It's only cheaper to
here.
shoot here because of the tax credit.
That's why. But that's the other thing is why.
So it's cheaper to shoot here.
A place like Trilith and the other studios get paid to rent, and Disney doesn't come in and just build a lot.
The rates of the studios are the same.
Yeah.
Spaces is what I was saying.
Yeah. But Disney doesn't want to come in. This is for those audio listeners who may not understand why a big production company like Disney might not make a studio space here. It's because they're hedging their bets against the tax incentive being removed, because that has happened. I can't remember the state.
Michigan.
It was
done it.
They
had it and they got rid of it.
And the
Alabama
moment-
rolled theirs back. Too.
and the moment those states have rolled back their tax incentives,
Birmingham was a big one, and they dropped.
and
a lot of
it's because these
Thomasville's
giant
trying to
studios just rent everything, so it's very easy for them to be liquid and just move back to LA.
But if you think about it, the only way to go around that is to build a studio like they have in LA. And then now you have the benefit of both the production being there, the infrastructure being there, and also the tax credit till that gets rolled back.
Yeah.
And then it gets
Which
rolled back,
hopefully
and then it's the
does
same as
not.
LA.
Yeah.
Until it gets put back in.
Yeah.
And you could
So
a
that's
lot of
if
these
you're-
productions push like legislation for tax credit and stuff like that. A
Yeah.
lot of these productions do that.
Yeah, because they want it cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
So coming back to Coming Home then, just thinking about it, so we put our money into, this is for, I don't know if, just a reminder for anyone who may not have listened to our previous podcast. Coming Home is a short film that Brent and I wrote. Brent came up with the story, we wrote it together, about a man coming home to an orphanage he used to run during the zombie apocalypse. And it would require a lot of stunts, require us to either build or rent sort of a school-esque space, and then we'd have to build something that we could burn down. So
Or
it
we
would
could get a mansion
it would
and then
be
burn down a mansion, and then we'd actually need $250K.
But
you would need 25 million.
yeah, see, at that point, and that's another thing. If I got another 150K, I could probably find an old abandoned
Yeah, but that's not
building.
necessary.
building.
Is what I'm saying. It's
for
not
what
necessary.
he is right though. For what we're doing, it would be better to rent a studio space and build.
For
Yeah,
the
but you gotta
interiors
get
and
like
then build
you gotta
the
get
exterior to
like
burn
good,
out.
Yeah.
because like some of the stuff on, like there can be bad looking sets
That is true.
and good looking sets.
That is true. That is. If
So
we were
you have to
building it
hire
ourselves, that's
more
where a lot of the money would go
expensive.
to.
Because here's
Well, you
another,
have to
here's,
think about
here's
the
another
shots.
Tazi, here's another thing.
Are you
With the
doing
less money
detailed
you're
shots of
paying
the
the people,
exterior?
with the less money you're paying the people, the worse the not like the better people aren't gonna come to your show because they already have 5 other people calling them saying, "Hey, I'll pay you a ton of money to come and be like a construction foreman on my show or a production designer on my show." And then we were like, "Hey, we'll give you the the IATSE or DGA minimum. You want to come and work on our thing? Yeah. They're going to be like, I don't care. So to get the better people to come onto your show, you need to give them more money. You need to make friends.
And that's fine. Some of the you can offer that after you've already offered. What I'm saying is, if you get worse stuff, your sets people are not going to look as negotiate. But your sets aren't going to look as good.
Well, here's the thing as well.
Well, are you doing detailed shots of the window seal? No, you're doing a wide shot of the house burning.
Yeah, I know, but that's what he's saying is you want that.
If you have less money to give to people, and if you have not as great people, your sets aren't going to look as good.
But
it's burning on fire.
No, when he's talking about... We have lots of shots of inside the building.
Inside the building is in the studio.
But also,
that's what I'm saying.
See the details of the exterior. But anyway,
we're not building the studio space. We're renting it.
But also just
or the house, whatever. We would rent the house and then do interior shots of the house.
School
at a physical place.
But quickly,
that's what I'm. Oh, wait,
and then we wouldn't burn.
We're saying the same thing.
Let me.
I'm saying it's better to have a real house to shoot the interior shots than build it on a stage.
No, we would just build
the facade. Okay, that's
okay. So, but quick to Brent's. So we're saying the same thing. To Brent's point, in general,
build the actual interior part and burn the whole thing down and make it detailed.
We're gonna build a whole house.
But I'm saying we could find an abandoned place.
That's exactly what
I'm saying. We could find an abandoned place, and if it looks good enough, we could just burn that one. If they would allow us.
Yeah,
that's depending.
Just demolish it for
you. It's all about negotiation, communication, talking about what you're doing. Because a lot of people don't tell
them. If you were planning on tearing this place down anyways, can we just burn it and you just need to touch it and it falls over?
I'll give you $500.
I think the thing to
that's all they're going to take.
Dude, honestly though, like if you think about it, if they're just going to burn it down anyway.
We gave this lady $500 the other day to set up some tables for us.
Yeah, that's what they did on the driveways for Crafty. There's 2 driveways down.
Bertha. The lady who was like in charge of the wedding venue.
Mm-hmm. Gerald.
He gave her $500 to basically dress the interior. For him.
Okay.
$500.
Yeah.
That's more than I make it.
Dude, we didn't even use this one driveway.
4 days.
We didn't even use this one driveway, like ever.
We paid them
and we still paid them $500. Locations did. Terrible negotiators.
Quick note on what Brent was saying though about if you pay more, you attract better people.
I'm not opposed to paying people more.
Let me say what I'm saying.
Like this.
I think the thing to remember is that we're hoping to pay these people, but we're also hoping that we're bringing in friends and people who are passionate about the project.
Yeah.
That is the goal. So we're attracting people not because we don't know them, but because we know them, that we're trying to have a good time making a cool movie.
Look, I already have a construction foreman that is interested in the project.
And is he good?
Yes, he is good. He works on big TV shows. Yeah. Last thing he was working on was...
Does he work on Bear in the Big Blue House?
It was Ozark.
It's Barney, isn't it?
Huh?
It's Barney, isn't it? He works for PBS, doesn't he?
Does he work on Sesame Street? Does he build Sesame Street?
Did he build Sesame Street?
His name's Barry, actually. I thought you said Barry.
Barry built Sesame Street?
Barry B. Benson?
I think it's Barry.
Barry B. Benson.
I can't remember.
Yeah. So that's the thing to remember, though, guys, is that relationships are very, very important in this industry. So it's like we're going through, a lot of the people at Georgia Film Academy that we have done stuff with are all unionized people now. They're working professionals that are looking at the same set. Now, we're all still lower tier in terms of we've only been going for about a year now, and there was a pandemic in the middle of all that.
Wait, what?
But those are the relationships you need to form. It's why you can't just be the writer. You need to be the filmmaker who's volunteering to help other people, who's working with other people, who's building relationships with other people.
Come on,
Tazi does. Tazi makes friends with everyone.
I do it the most.
He just writes.
Tazi is by
170 features.
I was writing today. That's a lie. Yeah. But I haven't written since today a long time.
You can't stop yourself from lying. It's enjoyable for you, isn't it?
What?
How much pot did you smoke?
That makes no sense. That's so random.
Okay.
Don't put up your arms.
So we've talked about budget. We talked about how Tazi changed his mind on cinema.
Your haircut is all over the place, my dude.
Rude.
Just
You
saying.
touching a man's hair without asking?
You touched my hair.
Bro.
No, we don't want to touch your hair.
Where's the sex and intimacy coordinator? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, we don't hire that.
Yeah.
Too much money
I
wasted.
saw this meme. That was
We don't have an HR department.
It was Boromir at the Council of Elrond, and it's like he's
The
like
HR
Gondor
department
has
is
no
just
king.
sad,
Gondor
right?
needs no king. But it says Lord of the Rings has no boobies. Lord of the Rings needs no boobies.
Whatever, Teamsters or whatever. There's no like HR department, isn't it? Just like
It's
the
Disney
union?
corporate. Well, HR.
for
Remember,
film
here's
in
the thing to
general?
remember about HR department, guys. HR
What's that?
departments are not there to protect the humans. They work for them. They're there to protect the corporation
From getting sued by the humans.
by getting sued by the human.
So
That's
they
what
try
human
to
resources does.
to calm them down
Yeah.
on site before they
So
leave and
yes,
sue them.
you are correct.
Disgruntled.
The union does represent their employees in matters of safety and sexual stuff like that.
Actually, the unions are better than HR, I think, to be honest, because
That's what I'm
they.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're both
because
saying.
the union has no affiliation
Yeah.
with the production, so they don't care if they get them shut down or like I get emails from the union saying these people aren't agreeing with our terms. They're gonna try to recrew up.
Negotiate July 10th.
What?
It's July 10th is when they go back to the table, right?
I think
Or
so.
they're
I remember
gonna
seeing
strike.
some stuff about.
Is that SAG?
No, it's IOT.
Oh, I did not see.
I don't know. I have to look at my emails again. I've been seeing
Frank,
stuff
you don't
about,
know if your union's gonna strike.
Well,
You're
I've
gonna
been
do
seeing
a
some stuff
sit-down
about
strike.
meetings, but I can't remember for sure.
It's a
But
sit-down strike.
can I finish my sentence,
Feel
Tazi?
free. Sit-down strike.
Shut up. They don't care if they get shut down. I'll get emails from the union being like, these people aren't agreeing with our terms. They're gonna try to crew up. If you get an email from them, don't answer it because they're not agreeing to our terms. Because when Dwight got shut down because of COVID stuff, they're just like call your people and we'll get that shut down. Like if they're not treating you right, like if they're not doing the things you're supposed to, even in orientation for IATSE, they say we're in the union at that point, but they're like, hey, if you know PAs who are doing the work of a union member, those PAs can call the union and they will basically like try to get them into the union at that point. Or tell the production to stop giving them that kind of work because it's basically the production is hiring a PA and then paying them PA rates but still giving them
They don't have the benefits of a union.
but they don't get the
that,
pay of a
remember that.
union member. So they're just basically being able to pay a set dresser or I think the example they gave was like if you're in the costume department and you're doing anything but doing pickups or like running and getting coffee or like lunch or something like that or like doing like receipts, then
Well, I should have.
like if they say if you do anything with like costumes or anything like that,
PA.
you should be a like a wardrobe person. You should be an actual getting paid for a wardrobe person. Like they're cheating the system.
You
to
do
try to
realize
get
what
cheaper
he's saying,
labor.
right?
Yes, I've done. Yes, it wasn't.
So this last show as a PA, were you doing union member work?
Yeah.
Were you just a set PA?
Yeah.
What were you doing that
Just
was?
add-on set PA.
What were you doing that was union work?
I mean, I did move some furniture around, which sounds so dumb to me. Like, I'll just move it.
I think at that point they'll be like, I think that's for some reason okay.
Moving
Because like they'll be like, hey, if you need a hand, although usually we try to ask the grips to help us, which might,
Grips
but every
are
once in a while
really
we'll be like, grips are cool.
But
every
I
once in a while
did
we'll
more
be
than
like,
that.
hey, I need a hand. PA, can you come and help me real quick? I need another hand on this couch. Which, to be honest, at that point, it's like, I think that, to be honest, now that I say it, that should also be one of those situations where you should call a union. Because at that point, they should be like, well, this onset dresser needs an additional onset dresser so they can move things that need two people to move. You shouldn't have to ask a grip or a PA.
And it's some gardening, too.
Yeah, it's greens.
Yeah.
Did some, I moved some grip and electric stuff. Mainly
Yeah,
electric.
that's
Wow,
ripping electric stuff.
the electricians let you move their stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
actually
was
kinda-
cool with it.
This is a
Wow.
non-union show that we're working on, and they still get sometimes butthurt about us.
Yeah.
This
Just
is a
slightly
union
moving
show.
it. No, that's what I'm saying. It's a non-union one, and I know that electrics and grips on union shows. I mean, to be honest,
Okay,
if you touch
let me talk
another
about
department,
grips for a second.
if you talk
One of them
about-
pissed me off.
hold on. If you talk about if you touch another department's stuff without asking them first, they will get very mad at you most of the time.
Yeah.
Because
But if I can
you
get
have
them
your,
yelled
you
at
have
by
your
the
union
AD.
boundaries.
If I'm getting yelled at
What
by
were
the
you
AD
saying?
to do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, at that point, it's a lose-lose situation. You
Yeah, at
can't
that
really do
point, if the
anything
grip
about it.
starts yelling at you,
You're
like,
a
Go yell at the AD.
My job was for this one specific scenario. Me up. Okay, I've done some grip work before. I know what it's like. Okay, you got to make sure
Gripped a couple
things.
things.
Oh yeah.
Put your firm, greasy hands over around some
Oh
poles.
god, this is going downhill
Grab some
fast.
flags.
I was not thinking of this in a normal setting.
Or yeah, normal setting. I don't think this is a normal setting.
No.
Okay, we'll continue with your story.
Yo, let's move on.
Some poles.
They were setting up, which this is hilarious, but they were setting up a crane, right?
Yeah.
They didn't even use the crane. He set it down. He like armed it down, and it was like it could have been on sticks, basically. At the end of the day, but before this happened, they were setting it up, locking it. But they said lock it down. We're doing our rehearsal, whatever. So I'm telling everybody to shut up. You know, like shh, 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 quiet. They're rehearsing or whatever. This one guy is over there with a ratchet strap, just like. I walk up to him. He's just ratcheting.
Ratchet strap.
He's ratcheting
Yeah,
something
okay.
down.
Oh, you said ratcheting.
He's ratcheting something down. He could wait. Like, I know how this mechanical works. This mechanism works, right? You could just hold it until they're done with the 3-second shot.
Yes.
He's over there. I'm like, shh. I walk up next to him. Shh. They're rehearsing. And he's like, still going at it. Okay. And then I said it one more time. I was like, listen, dude, quiet. They're rehearsing. Still going at it. And so I touched him on
How
the
much did he have to crank
Dude,
this ratchet strap?
It was a long bolt. It wasn't
Yeah,
this
but
long.
usually
It was
you
a long-
tighten it with the rope, and you only need to do like 3 or 4 ratchets.
with a rope.
Yeah, ratchet straps. You know how ratchet straps work,
No,
correct?
a socket wrench.
Okay,
Socket.
that makes
That's
more
very
sense.
different.
That's a very
Yes.
different thing,
No, yes.
Tazi.
I know. Sorry, wrong turn. I'm just furious. I just spit.
That was a lot. Stop chewing gum.
You stop talking to me.
It was like a tsunami.
He was. What's it again?
I felt like Pharaoh in the Red Sea.
He was working
socket
with a
wrench.
socket wrench.
Socket wrench.
Why are you asking us? We weren't there.
I know. I just forgot what the tool was
Alright,
called.
so then you touch him on the shoulder.
I touched him on the shoulder. He turns around yelling at me. I'm like, dude, shut the up. And he's just staring at me. And I'm just staring at him. And then they finish rehearsing or whatever. And he starts yelling at me again. He's like, don't ever fucking touch me. He's like, Wood, shut up, dude. Like, when I tell you we're rehearsing or we're rolling, shut up.
Did you yell at him like that?
I did.
Yeah.
I don't give a
And did he keep yelling back?
No, he didn't. He was quiet. Because PAs typically cower and sit down. And the little puppy dogs, right?
Yeah.
I'm not about that life. And so he walks away, and I walk away, and then he goes and starts talking
Because
to
you have the
his boss.
You have the personality of a director that
Yeah.
no one likes.
Yeah, I know. And he starts talking to his boss, and I'm standing over here. I can hear every word he's saying. He's like, yeah, he grabbed me, and he went like this, and he was yelling at me and stuff like that. And I walk up to his boss, and I was like, excuse me? Are you listening? You were standing right over there. You heard what I said. I told everybody, including you, that we were rehearsing. And he just continued on working. You gotta hold the work, man. And if you can't control your crew, I'm gonna go talk to the AD. And he was like, this doesn't concern you or something like that. I'm like, if he's talking about me, it concerns me.
For sure, heard my name.
And then he was just quiet, and then I walked away, and then I never heard anything about it.
Are you
again.
fired?
No.
No. He finished
No.
the show.
I finished the show, yeah.
I'm
You never backed down, my
Bro,
friend.
I'm gonna be honest, because I'm not like that.
Yeah.
And
No.
there have been a few moments on this show where
Not
I've
at all.
needed to be like that.
Like when?
Like people won't shut up,
Oh, yeah.
or they ignore me when I tell them to be quiet. And
There are
I
a couple
and
times
I
I
need
was
to- and
I was
need to be
gonna
like-
say just like like, guys, come on, shut up.
Yeah.
There were a couple times I wanted to yell at. Like, you're like, what are you doing? You're not 5.
Dude, you're making movies.
Like,
just shut up for 5 seconds.
Like, you're not 5. You know how to shut your mouth or stop. Just
you could be working at McDonald's.
There was one time. There was one time on Dwight. This wasn't the art department's fault. It was the AD's fault. But so they were in one set on the stage, and then the art department was setting up, like, dressing another set over here, like right here. They were shooting there, and they were working and like using their impact drivers and stuff like that, and they were making like a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And so they started being like, "Hey, we're rolling," and so then they were like, "Okay," and they stopped, and they just kind of yelled it out, and then they said, "Cut." It's not as bad. When we listen to the thing, it's not as bad.
You do realize that I have to go in there and reduce it.
Okay. But they like said cut, but then in the shot they were doing, it was the main character had a video camera and he was shooting a commercial for the salon that they were in, and he would say cut. But the production did not tell the art department crew that was in the scene. And it happened 3 more times. But that was when I was still doing the internship, so I was still like over on set, and I didn't really know the art department at that time.
This is Dwight.
Yeah. But it happened 3 times, and every single time they were just like, "Hey guys, we're still rolling." Mm-hmm. But they didn't go up to tell them or send a PA. Like, they didn't go tell them that, "Hey, the character says cut in the shot. Yeah. We're gonna say cut a second time, and that's when we actually cut." But they also didn't send a PA over there to tell them when they're cut and rolling. They just were like, "Hey guys, stop working," and then just. And then later I talked to Adam, who was the lead man, and he was like, "I would have been fine. It was just really confusing." And then they never put like a PA just next to us to be like, "Hey, we're rolling now. Okay, we'll stop the work now. Okay, we're cut. You can continue."
Communication is the most important thing on these sets. Again, I've only been on this set for a week, and already the communication between departments is garbage.
Yeah.
It's garbage. And it's mostly because the director and DP, when they change a shot, they just go, like, "All right, this is the shot we're doing." They don't tell anyone else what they're doing. Like, we cut yesterday.
That's what
we cut for lunch. Mm-hmm. The AD, first he asked for grace, and then the DP was like, "That's not grace. That is grace." I was so annoyed with that.
Wait, what?
So
Gerald.
I was over in the other restaurant.
Is Grace a cast member?
Grace is 15 minutes. We've gone over our time that we were going to do for lunch, so they asked for grace. We were getting this shot. We went over our break for lunch, and Kevin said, "I'm asking for grace."
Yeah.
And both the I'm not going to say their names. Both the gaffer and the DP said, "That's not what grace is." And he was like, "I just need more time." And I was like, "That is what grace is."
That's what grace is. If you go
it's
past
15 minutes past lunch. I'm asking for extra,
if you go past your, if you go even if it's 3:00 and if you think you're going to go past 3:00, you ask for grace, and that buys you 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Nobody uses grace.
Yeah, but
no,
in this
I've never heard anybody.
But in this case, I was frustrated.
I know what it means, but I'm saying
people do use it.
In this case, it was frustrating
because
Gerald
new to his job. But like I said, he's new to his job, and he is a wonderful human being. But the department heads are treating him like he should know exactly what's going on, even though they're all aware of the situation and that he is in an internal promotion. He has not been trained to do this. They've sort of just thrown him to the wolves and are attacking him for not knowing what's going on. But the other thing that frustrated me was we finished that shot after he called for grace, and he cuts to lunch. I have to go talk to someone inside. So I go to the door, open the door, and the DP's like, "Clear the door, we're still shooting."
No, we cut for lunch.
And I was like, I wanted to say that, but I was about to like scream in his face, and I would have been fired if I had done that.
It depends on who you're talking to.
I wanted to yell at the director a couple times.
He kept calling.
He keeps on calling me a PA, and it keeps on like going up to
Gerald,
the AD, and his names. Oops. He keeps on going. I guess I didn't use his.
We've talked
Gerald
positively because
Gerald
Gerald
is this is his first time being a first AD, and I think he's doing a fine job. I think he's for the first time doing
Fine
an AD.
job.
Yeah.
Doing a
He
stellar job.
just also
But-
he has 2 PAs as well. So for a first AD who has 2 PAs, he's doing great.
And that's it. Yeah. Crap. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. He keeps on like being like,
Gerald.
get your PAs. Like there was one time I was holding the door open. We were at a restaurant. We were going outside.
Isn't that what a PA does?
What?
Oh, he just doesn't know who Brent is.
I'm not
Justin
a
told me
PA.
this already. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm not a PA. I'm
I
with
know
the
you're
art
not a
department.
PA.
Technically, the
that's what
lead
I'm
guy
saying.
was
He's-
like, "Hey, Brent, what do you want to be credited as?" And I was like, "What do you mean? I guess a set dresser?" He's like, "I mean, you could be anything. I'm already production designer and Edie's prop master. You want to be art director?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "I guess I'll credit me as lead man." I don't know. Crap. Oh yeah, so I was holding the door open so the sound guy could roll his card out, and we were clear. I was wiping. I had been washing the window because in the actor at the action, he opens a door and walks out. And it's a big glass door, and so I was cleaning the door. So I had Windex and paper towel in one hand, and I was holding the door open with the other hand. And the director's like, "PA, come over here and help
Gerald.
these chairs. Why aren't you helping with the chairs?" And I was like,
And then he's
and the sound guy
Gerald.
and then
the door.
Tell your PA to do his job.
I was like, "Why are you doing this? Have your PA do this." And I was like, the sound guy's halfway through the door, so I can't just like shut the door on him. But also, I'm like, you see, I have stuff in my arms. Like I can't do anything right now.
That was the more
and
Brent
if
wanted
so,
to turn around and be like, "I'm not a PA.
Yeah,
I am your set dresser."
I think I whispered it to myself, like I'm not a PA.
Yeah. Also, at that point, like,
How many more days do you have on
what
this?
was he gonna?
A week. This next
If he
week.
does it again, just
I'm
and
done
no,
on
no,
the 11th,
You're gonna be on,
which is the weekend.
You're gonna be gone. You're just doing that week, but
Gerald.
we're doing a few days after that.
No, yeah. The original day I was gonna be on until it was the 15th, but now I'm on just till the 11th because
Oh,
they
okay.
can't. I guess they can't pay. They can't afford to have a third person in the art department.
Oh,
A whole third person in all of the art department.
Yeah,
There is 3 of us.
they're running the entire art department.
It's basically just
Gerald.
basically doing everything,
Bertha.
doing a lot of the prop stuff, and I'm just.
Are you guys?
By the way,
Are
we're
you guys
saying
at a stage?
we're saying that
We're only locations.
yeah, we're saying the names of people we like. Maybe I should not. Maybe I should just
Oh
bleep
yeah,
out
I
everyone's
forgot.
names.
I'm saying names.
I should probably just bleep out everyone. I'll just take out everyone's
I'm
names.
just talking about the ice cream guys.
Bertha.
Yeah, but I'll just go in and take out everyone's names, so there's no names.
Can we
names.
here use this?
I don't have any names because I'm smarter than you guys.
Gerald.
That's the guy's name you're gonna use for everyone, and
Bertha.
is for all the women.
Do it again, but quiet.
Gerald. Bertha.
Perfect. This goes back to the communication thing.
You were gonna
Okay.
have an easy workload for this episode, but now you're not.
No, I'm not.
Now he's gonna
No,
add
I'm
Gerald and Bertha.
Gerald and Bertha everywhere.
But now we can say everyone's names because we got Gerald and Bertha.
All the
Oh, yeah.
time I would have spent cutting back between
Put
our
that
two
in the
cameras.
assets project.
Gerald and
Keep-
Bertha?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now he
yeah.
only has one camera, so that's easier. And also, he doesn't have to cut out those things. He just has to add in.
Add in. Yeah,
Bertha
it'll be
Gerald.
No,
fine.
you'll have to cut out.
I have to cut
I can
out
see it's the
audio.
mute, but he would have added in like a whatever. Okay. Also, you need to turn down the
I'm gonna
sound
turn the
effect for the
chicken-
bleep.
the chicken
The
noise.
chicken, because that scares me
I
every
also,
time.
Well, you
Todd
should.
swears.
I also found the F words that I missed when I was
Damn,
re-listening.
really?
When I was re-listening to the
There was in like the first or
I'm
second
trying,
episode we
man.
did
I really am.
in no like the first or
No,
second.
you're good.
No, it's okay.
You were getting mad
in the
at
first
Brent.
episode. In the first or second episode we did in person. The first time you swore, Justin bleeped it out, and then like 20 or 30 minutes later, you swore again, and he didn't bleep it. But then like a couple minutes later, you swore again, and he bleeped it. And I was like,
in the Turn Your Brain Off Movies episode, there's a point where you go, "As I care about the characters, I can't like it's a and I cut the second F word, but not the first one."
What you should do to make it easier is you should just put the chicken noise on a timeline, lower it to whatever volume, and then export that back out and put it back in.
Oh yeah, no.
That way you could just drag and drop, and you don't have to change the volume
we're
every
about an hour
time.
right now.
okay.
We can go for a few more minutes. Because I do want to, like, for anyone who is listening to this in the future when we're all 3 of us are successful and you're like, oh, this is what they did in their 20s. Currently, communication on set is very important. After you finish a shot,
It's in all relationships.
after you finish a shot,
Communication.
every department head should be meeting to go to the next shot and know what the next shot is. Your DP and your director can't just say, okay, we're moving the camera.
Yeah, but these roles all need to be established in a
pre-production meeting. Yeah.
Which they don't.
How are we running our
do,
set?
Which is stupid.
Yeah. So, like, this October, I'm going to be an AD on a set, and that is a conversation I need to have with when we start getting into our production meetings.
You need to have the heads of all the departments in a production meeting or at least all the ones that are important to that day's.
And then you need to have a reiterating meeting. Because say you have this meeting in pre-production, say at the beginning or ish, whatever, when you have all of your heads on pre-production, right? Or during pre-production.
You should have a production meeting like at least once a week.
You should, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Is there should be a reiteration.
Maybe like once a week, maybe twice a week, just so you can go over the next other things. Like the important things, be like, hey, these days, like if the costume people had a question, be like, hey, so I know now that we can go through this day easier.
Well, it should
Are
be
these different days? Do I need different costumes? There was a whole thing with her hair. That was the thing that hair didn't know about, and so we shot something and we can't use it because her hair is different.
No, we are going to use it. That was the compromise they came to. So what happened was the lead actress for her audition had bangs. She had her own hairstyle that she had done. And the producers, after we shot for the first day, hair and makeup had done her hair the way they wanted to do her hair. Mm-hmm. They watched the dailies, and they called us up 2 hours into shooting the next day. Hey, what's with the lead's hair? Why does she have what she had in her audition? In her self-tape.
So the thing that's not even being used in the movie?
For 2 hours, the producer and the director argued with them and said, this is dumb, you're wasting our time, let us just shoot what we have because we filmed for a whole day.
The part that they filmed is actually going to be in the movie. The part that's in the self-tape isn't going to be in the movie.
They ended up compromising and like giving her, like moving her hair down slightly so it wasn't as far pulled back. And that's not going to match anything because we shot her hair one way over the course of like it was scenes from the entire movie that we shot.
Lifetime movie.
I think everybody's given up on this movie.
But again, a lot of this comes back to the communication. A lot of me this shoot has been, what is your decision on this question that is asked? Answer. All right, I'm going to do it. Wait. Or I complete it. Why did you do that? The director told me on one shot, Justin, go place your background because I'm wrangling the background on this. I go and place them.
That's fucking fun.
DP, why is there background there? Move them. You're blocking my light. I move them. Okay, understandable. After he's been standing there, it seems like all his lights are set. I go over to the DP. Can I place my background now? Yes. I place them. Why is there background in my light? And I go up to him at that point. I don't move my background. I'm like, what do you want me to do? And he says, have them move or something. Like, I don't want you just to have them standing in my shot. That's their one. That's where they're standing at the beginning of the shot.
Yeah, do a rehearsal. You'll find out where they move to.
Yeah, I was like, what do you want? I'm not going to tell them to start moving in the middle of the shot. I've set them so that we can get our leads in and shoot the scene. That was a little frustrating. I've also learned how to wrangle background a little bit more, which I like. For some reason, the first day I wasn't thinking about you need to keep people in constant movement. And it was on the farmer's market day where I was like, oh yeah, like when I direct my background, I need to give them direction. I can't just say go from here to there. I've got to be like, and move from stall to stall, keep the energy going. And only some people can plant. Some people got to keep moving. So that's been educational. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Have you had toast recently?
Let me tell you about this thing called a toast sandwich. It's very good.
Enunciate. Nobody can understand you.
It's a toast sandwich. It's like
Make it water. More spit.
God.
Tazi, put your mouth up here.
No.
No. Come on, Tazi. Come on, get in here. Come on, Tazi. You have a lickable sandwich. Come in here. You want a lickable sandwich? You have a lickable sandwich.
A ball
No,
sandwich.
lickable.
That's what I heard.
You take a piece of bread. Don't put a bunch of liquor on it.
Oh, liquor.
Lick a ball. Come on, Tazi.
It says lick a ball.
Shove it down your throat.
Tazi, I need you to lean in right here.
No.
Come closer.
No.
Come closer, Tazi.
You're gonna break my wrist.
Come on.
Nope.
Yo, look, you're so buff.
We're gonna eat him now.
Wow, that was a great episode, team. You want to support us? You can do so at /filmfeast@gmail.com. That was our email. Our Patreon is patreon.com/filmfeast. Lots of forward and slashing. Just want them to go to Twitter and follow us at FilmFeast and Instagram.com and follow us at FilmFeast and TikTok and follow us at FilmFeast. Yeah!